morning to you, and welcome back to the JRPG Weekly Update. I'm SuperDerek, and I was gone last week, so we've got a lot of news to catch up on. There is a bunch of games coming to Xbox One. Atlus announced an announcement, and man, we've actually got a lot of games getting ported over to PC and other stuff. So let's just jump in with Persona 5 Royal information that's coming out on December 3rd. It's going to be, I guess, revealed at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And that's about all we really know. It was just this, there's this graphic that Atlus put out, said that they will be, releasing more information soon. So hopefully, oh, and by the way, this is for the Western release. So hopefully we'll find something out about when it's coming out. Hopefully holiday 2019. I don't know. It could happen, but we'll see. In other news, Pokemon Sword and Shield have passed 6 million units worldwide already. And I am really conflicted about this because, I know that Pokemon is, first and foremost, it is the biggest franchise in the entire world right now. The biggest. It is basically the largest JRPG franchise in the world right now, which is kind of a weird feeling, but it's kind of been that way for a long time. Honestly, though, I barely even consider it an RPG at this point because it just is so light on story elements. It's RPG and battle mechanics only as far as I'm concerned. Point of the matter is, Game Freak released a game that is, it is a joke compared to what they could do with that kind of money. I know Game Freak doesn't have access to all of the money that the Nintendo company have made, or the Pokemon company, or any of that, but I know that they have access to more than what they're using, and this is why the fact that it sold 6 million units already, this is why Game Freak got lazy. This is how they got to that point, guys. They don't even have to try anymore. Game Freak doesn't respect its fans, and this is why. I think I'm gonna hold out for the Switch HD port of the game someday. But at the same time, it delivers on a couple of key aspects that a lot of Pokemon fans require, in that the battle system is largely unchanged, and it has Pokemon in the title, and that is all it really takes sometimes. The PS5 may have had a price leaked, and it's going to be about $500 according to rumors here. I'm honestly not really too upset by the price, but what do you guys think? Normally I wouldn't really care or even talk about this sort of thing because it's just a console leak, but because the PS4 is, it's basically where every JRPG comes, that and the Nintendo Switch. So because of that, they're, I think, really closely intertwined, these two topics of RPG news and PlayStation news. I don't think that $500 is too much, and that's coming from somebody who's pretty broke a lot of the time. But keep this in mind, $500 today would, in 1995 money, be about $300, around the time that the Nintendo 64 launched. The PlayStation 3 was definitely overpriced when it launched in 2005-ish for about $600, which in today's money would have been a lot closer to like $800. So it's definitely $500 it's not a drop in the bucket. It's still definitely a big number, but it isn't what it used to be. And with that in mind, I think that the $500 price tag is, honestly, it's probably going to be the new normal, and I would be really surprised if the new Xbox were to undercut that in any way. NIS have announced that the launch date for Langrisser 1 and 2, it's going to be coming in the West, that is, on March 10th of 2020 in the United States, and then in Europe it's coming out on March 13th. Level 5 have announced that a Ni no Kuni MMO is going to be coming out in Japan in 2020. It's called Ni no Kuni Cross Worlds, and it is currently confirmed for coming to Android and iOS, and it's going to be coming in the second half of 2020. And I'm not really surprised that this MMO is going to be mobile only. Most Japanese consumers out there have phones and use them like we use PCs. Over in Japan, A lot of phones are kind of taking the place of a lot of consoles. It is what it is, but I'm honestly not going to be too interested in it as a result. The game's going to be a real-time hack and slash with PvE and PvP elements, which does sound kind of interesting. I guess we'll just have to find out if it's ever going to come to the West, and if it's full of microtransactions and gacha mechanics, because really that, more than the whole phone thing, is what kind of concerns me about these kinds of games whenever they're announced. Xseed have announced a release date for their upcoming game Heroland. This game is set to launch on the PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch on December 3rd, with a PC version planned as well, but that date hasn't been announced yet. The game looks relatively innocuous, but it does have a team of people who have been veterans of much larger franchises, including like Mother 3, for instance. So definitely keep your eyes out for this one, because it's got that solid pedigree, and I'm pretty interested to see what this actually turns out to be. Labyrinth of Galeria, Coven of Dusk, which is a follow-up to Labyrinth of Refrain, Coven of Dusk, is delayed from spring 2020 into an undecided date. And considering the fact that this game was originally planned to launch in July of 2019, that could be pretty concerning. So, especially considering the financial shape that NIS is in at this point. We had those headlines not too long ago about how they weren't paying employees and stuff. So I really do hope that things turn around for them. Level 5 have also announced Snack World: The Dungeon Crawl Gold is coming to the West. This is a new franchise that they've kind of been working on over there for a while. This is the first one that's going to be coming to the West. It is coming out on Valentine's Day, that is the 14th of February in 2020, both physically and digitally, and it'll be about $50 or so for the Nintendo Switch. The English version will come with all of the DLC packs from the original Japanese release, though, so that's pretty cool. Arc of Alchemist is going to be coming out in the West on January 30th of 2020. This is also that Compile Heart / Idea Factory RPG that we talked about last time. Well, this game is coming to PS4 and Nintendo Switch, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And then In Exile Entertainment, the guys behind Wasteland 1 and 2, are going to be launching Wasteland 3 on May 19th of 2020. It's coming to PS4, Xbox One, and a PC, and it will also, when it comes to Xbox, it will be included in the Xbox Game Pass. We're going to have a lot of Xbox news here in just a moment. So this is the JRPG series, by the way, the Wasteland inspired Fallout. So it's definitely also got a pretty stellar pedigree if you're into JRPGs. We have a lot of ports coming to Xbox One here with Kingdom Hearts: The Story So Far collection. They didn't call it The Story So Far, but basically every game from that is going to be coming to the Xbox One in 2020. I didn't even realize that they didn't even have these games leading up to it. They got Kingdom Hearts 3, but they didn't get 1.5 HD, they didn't get 2.5 or 2.8. So all those games included in all of those are getting ported to the Xbox One, which is really good news if you're a fan of Kingdom Hearts and just haven't had an opportunity to play the HD remasters. Well, now you do. So keep that in your calendar. I'm not actually sure when. It's coming out sometime in 2020 sometime. Also, for you Xbox One owners, there's a bunch of Final Fantasy titles coming to Xbox Game Pass here over the next year. Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, 10, 10-2, skipping 11, 12 Zodiac Age, 13, 13-2, Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy 13, and then skipping 14, and then 15. So basically everything but Type 0 and the MMOs are going to be coming to Xbox Game Pass, which is pretty awesome. If you have already got an Xbox One, this is a pretty great way to go. And there's also other games coming to Game Pass this year or next year, including The Witcher 3, Darksiders 3, Yakuza 0, Kiwami, and Kiwami 2. And man, it's pretty crazy. If I had an Xbox One, this might be a tempting way to do things, except for the fact that obviously I am a collector of physical games. But I could also be accused of being a collector of subscription services if you looked at my smart TV. But for some people out there, this is probably really exciting news, and especially for basically any Xbox One owner, that's pretty stellar. Also, the Alliance Alive HD remaster from NIS is coming to Good Old Games, so it's coming to PC. This port is arriving on January 16th in 2020 and will be DRM free, which is awesome. Here's some pretty cool news. Residents of Fate is getting a 4K / HD port. I think we already got that here in the West, but it's getting a physical release in Southeast Asia, which means that it's getting an English physical release over there, and it's currently selling as End of Eternity in that Southeast Asian region, and it will have English audio and subtitles and text and everything, and it is currently up for pre-order on PlayAsia.com. The collector's edition that they have will also have like an art book and 2-disc soundtrack, so if you're a fan of Resonance of Fate, this is something you should definitely check out. The games are expected to ship in December, so make sure you get your pre-order put in pretty quickly here. Links will be in the description down below for both versions of the release. And speaking of physical copies that are shipping in January, the English physical copies of the Final Fantasy VII and VIII Remaster Twin Pack, the 2-for-1, are also shipping from PlayAsia here, and they're shipping on November 29th. So be sure that you get your pre-order in to guarantee yourself a copy. Again, links are in the description down below. Lastly, Dragon Quest Builders 2 is coming to PC on December 10th this year, which is awesome because according to some of the responses from the question of the week last week, when I asked about games that had fantastic world building, this was among the answers. I don't know what I expected from you. So we're back to SuperDerek news here, guys. I was out sick last week, and I'm sorry for that. The news didn't stop, but I got stopped anyway, because sometimes illness can just kick your butt. So that's what happened last week, but we are back at it this week. And also, I'd like to say, speaking of the question of the week from last week, or from 2 weeks ago, I'd like to say that never before have I seen such a unified response to a question of the week from you guys. Such a unified voice. You guys were heard loud and clear. The Trails games, Trails in the Sky, Trails of Cold Steel, Legend of Heroes, whatever you want to call it, those games apparently have outstanding world building. It was like a unanimous response, aside from Dragon Quest Builders 2. So thanks for that, guys. I'm gonna need to really prioritize my journey through these really long games. Also, I got a little something planned for later on this week for you guys, maybe like Friday or so keep your eyes peeled for that. I'm pretty proud of this project I've been working on for the last couple weeks, so hopefully when you see it, you will click on it and enjoy. It was a lot of fun to make. Also, for this week's JRPG weekly forecast, we have nothing. Not a single JRPG is releasing this week. Not a one. And it's really weird, isn't it, guys? Not one. Which leaves us with just the question of the week. And with Thanksgiving coming, guys, I want you to make sure you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. If you can be with family, I hope you're able to. And also, we have, of course, the corporate holiday of Black Friday and Cyber Monday coming up. And I am always on the lookout for good deals. So my question to you this week is if you've heard of any great deals coming up that I should keep an eye out for my JRPG loving mind, post them down below. And I'll maybe even make a video like on Wednesday, maybe, depending on how things go. I might even make a video kind of recapping some of my favorite responses. So if you guys could give me the hookup, I'd really appreciate it. Anyways, guys, again, thank you so much for joining me. Affiliate links are in the description down below. They are super helpful whenever you follow those. And of course, I am SuperDerek, and this has all been news to me. Have a great week, everyone.